Don't ask me why I'm wearing a stethoscope, because I don't know. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Zid, back at it again with another video. But I'm here to tell you a few things that your CNA course will not tell you at all. This is a video that has been recommended before, and I just haven't had the right idea of how I wanted to do it, but I finally got how I want to do this. And it's basically going to be similar to my cons of being a CNA video. CONS of being a CNA video, and I have that. I'll put it right here and also put it in the description below. But this is going to be simply what your CNA course did not teach you regarding what you can expect and different tasks that you'll be doing that you just didn't know about before you started this job. Before we get into that though, go ahead and subscribe. We're almost literally at 4,000 subs. I think I'm like 40 away. We are like 40 away from 4K subs, and you know the goal was 5, but I know we'll get there sooner or later. Just keep watching, keep supporting it. I will keep pumping out great content for you guys. Go ahead and follow me on the gram, which I want to get my numbers up. I think I'm like 100 off of 5,000. So go ahead and follow me on the gram. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you want to see from this channel, because we are moving a mile a minute. To get started into the video, I'm simply going to just jump straight into it. So the first out of the list for the unspoken things that you will be doing as a CNA is going to be post-mortem care. I've mentioned this on another video before, but post-mortem care is basically when the patient transitions into another life. They're no longer here on this life. You will be the one cleaning that patient. You'll be the one bagging that patient into a body bag, and you'll be the one toe tagging that patient and taking that patient down to the morgue. It may be you or maybe the nurse, but typically it's left up to the CNAs. Oftentimes I'm doing it either alone or I'm doing it with another tech. Only like maybe a few times I've done it with another nurse, but that's not common. And I've done it more than, I want to say, 20 times by now. I used to work on the neuro floor, and now I work on cardiac, where I don't see that as much. But strokes, on the stroke floor, I have done it a bunch of times, and no one mentioned that when I was taking my CNA course. It wasn't brought up at all. It wasn't spoken about at all. I didn't even know that was a thing. But you will be the one doing that when you become a CNA. So heads up, especially if you work in a hospital, you will be the one that is your task to do. And that's the first unspoken thing about being a CNA. Next is going to be opening yourself to being assaulted by patients. This is something that I don't speak about too much because it very rarely happens. But recently, I want to say maybe 2 shifts ago, I was kicked by a patient. So it hurt. She kicked me hard as crap. But a lot of times, especially for smaller nurses, smaller women nurses, you guys are attacked all the time. I see it all the time. I'm stopping patients from doing it all the time. And as a CNA, they don't mention that at all. There are people who come to the hospital, who get into the hospital and don't want to be there. There are people who say that it's a form of kidnapping. There are people who are just aggressive. Not people, patients. There are patients who are just aggressive, who are just mean, who are just nasty, and they want to fight, and they will fight anybody, including me, a 6'5", 240-pound male. So they're not scared to hit me, punch me, smack me. They're not gonna be scared to attack you, hit you, punch you, kick you, even spit on you. I haven't dealt with spit yet, but that is something that can happen, and it happens often. So be aware of that. Different ways you can kind of protect yourself from getting attacked by a patient is set boundaries. Use space as a friend of yours. Don't get too close to the patient. If you don't have to, let the patient know why you're there. Let the patient know you're on their side, and you kind of have to talk to them as if they're like a child, even if they are an adult, just simply so you can break down the rules. Say, hey, my name is, so-and-so. I'm coming to take care of you. I'm coming to pass this medicine. I'm coming to do something. Let them know the purpose that you are there, because I do know if you leave them more in the dark, then they're gonna get more angry and attack you a lot more. Even if you do sometime, let them know why you're there, you can still open yourself up to get attacked. But entering healthcare, even as a nurse, doctor, you need to know that there's a chance that you can be attacked and you can be assaulted by a patient. But there are different things you can do to avoid that. Like I said, use your space, talk to them nice, let them know the reason you're there. And just, sometimes you have to let them know straight up, do not hit me. You know what I mean? Do not hit me, do not smack me. I will call security on you, and I will call security fast. Again, I don't run into that issue as much because I am a bigger male, but it still happens. So yeah. My number 3 thing that they don't mention too much about being a CNA, the unspoken things about being a CNA, is horrible patient to healthcare provider assignments. If you work in a nursing home, and I speak highly about nursing homes now because I do know a lot of nursing homes I used to work for that are changing some of the rules. I have friends that still work in those facilities, and they let me know so much has changed. But overall, in other areas, I still would say be very careful if you are willing to work in a nursing home. Nursing homes are, I want to say, less funded than a hospital. A lot of times they are less staffed than a hospital because the hospital is already understaffed. So you can just imagine what a nursing home is going to have for you. And a lot of times, nursing homes are just, it's not the hospital experience. I don't want to sit here and bash nursing homes. I don't want to sit here and tell the truth, but speak, about nursing homes. This is more so about hospitals. You will have unregulated patient ratios. I think when I was learning about becoming a CNA, it's supposed to be like 7-to-1. A lot of times you might have 11-to-1, 12-to-1, 13-to-1. This is all what you will be taken care of. You can come into work and you will be understaffed. Understaffed nurses, understaffed techs, and the less staff you have, the more you will do. So that's something they don't speak about a lot about being a CNA is the understaffed ratios. And I know a lot of times in hospitals and in nursing homes, if you are going in for a shift, you can come in and they will let you know, hey, you have the whole floor. Now, nurses will help you. Don't get me wrong, especially in a hospital. Nurses will help you, but overall, you will be doing a lot of that stuff by yourself. So just be aware of that because this is something that, again, nobody mentioned at all while learning about being a, this is something that nobody mentioned at all while learning to become a CNA. So simple heads up on that. This is something you definitely need to know. And this is something new that I'm adding to this section of the video. It's simply the energy levels of working in healthcare in general. I will say that while you're a CNA, you will be pouring yourself into patients. You'll be pouring a lot of good energy into patients, and it won't always be reciprocated. This is a heavy, demanding job emotionally and physically. But I would say if you are in it for the right reasons, it's going to be worthwhile. If you're in it for the right reasons, you're going to be able to have a longer tolerance when dealing with, certain stuff that healthcare throws your way. But simply you will be, speaking to patients and helping patients with a lot more issues than just health. A lot of times, especially in my situation, I'll give you an example. I work with a lot of older population, a lot of cardiac patients, whether they're going in for a heart transplant, they're a cabbage patient. They're coming in for like one of the valves to be replaced on their heart. They're coming in for a cardioversion, stuff like that. Like you will be dealing with a lot of those type of patients. And a lot of them are older. So simply, they just want somebody to talk. They just want somebody to be there. They don't want to feel alone. These are all things that you will be doing outside of simply taking care for the patient medically. You will kind of be there, kind of being like a stepson to them or a nephew to them or a family member, because a lot of times family members won't come and visit them at all. And you learn a lot from the older population. You learn a lot from patients in general. But this is something that nobody spoke to me about. And until you have held the hand of a dying patient who family will not come visit them, but they'll come after for the funeral and stuff like that. But if they cannot make it to the hospital and a patient is, slipping away DNR and you're holding their hand, you won't really know what I'm talking about. And I know some of you do. So, yeah. Don't want to make it too morbid, though. On to the next one. And then the last one is going to be untraditional work hours. When I was becoming a CNA, they always mention, oh, you're going to work untraditional hours. I'm thinking it's going to be a little here and a little bit there, a little extra hours there and a little bit extra hours there. But a lot of hospitals do not give you the opportunity to work these more traditional hours that a nursing home would. A lot of times, if you're working in a hospital and you're a CNA, you are stuck under the nurse's schedule, which is a 7-to-7 shift. That's 7P to 7A or 7A to 7P. You will be in there for 12 hours, only in a facility, nursing assistant living, or a long-term care facility. Unless you're in a facility, a long-term care facility, a nursing home, assisted living, you will be working more traditional hours. I want to say like a 7-to-3 or like a 11-to-7, more of like normal shifts, 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts. But 12-hour shifts is not the norm. I am often exhausted, especially when I do like 2 in a row, 3 in a row, working like a 7-to-7. And I work nights. So that's already, a beast in itself. But they always mention untraditional hours, but you will be working untraditional hours. 12-hour shifts are not normal outside of healthcare. 12-hour shifts can be hard depending on the night that you have, but if you're consistently having bad shifts, it will take a toll on your mental. It will take a toll on your body as well. So just be prepared for that 100%. Other ways you can kind of negate this or slip your way around it is go to a facility or a nursing home where you can kind of make your own schedule. A lot of times those patients are there. They don't move. There's still a need, but a lot of them are easier to maintain than a hospital if you work on the ED or ICU. Those patients, they're not moving. They're going to be there. So you're going to build a relationship with them. It'll be a lot easier for you to know, hey, well, Mr. Mike down the hall don't like going to sleep until 12. So I'm going to let him chill for a little bit longer. And Miss Ann, she goes to sleep, at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So you'll kind of like gain a relationship with those patients, and it'll be a little bit easier to maintain. But if you're in a hospital and you're working at 7 to 7, just be aware that 7 to 7 is a lot. It does take an adjusting period to kind of get used to that. But yeah, those were basically some of the unspoken truths, unspoken things about being a CNA, and definitely something that I feel like I don't see anybody speaking about on YouTube about. And this is something that you definitely need to know, something that you definitely need to be aware of so you can move forward knowing the truth, because that's what I'm here for, to give you guys the real. That's all I have for y'all in this video. I hope it helped. I hope you learned something. And if you didn't, or you want to know something else, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more. And you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I want more interaction between me and you guys, and I'll try to respond to everybody accordingly. I'll see you guys on the next one. That's all I have for you. I'll see you guys on the next one. That's all I have for y'all in this video. And yeah, peace.